Are we starting? Yes, we're starting. Yep. All right. 2-3, day 2. We're going to continue on with weighted mean.
Can you please bless us with your silence?
That's a good one, Matt. That's funny. No, it wasn't even funny at all. Fix your jeans.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm the one talking.
Okay, weighted mean. If you remember, that's where we left off last Thursday. Our formula is...
We already did this, short.
We did. We're going to continue on with some harder ones. We take the weight and multiply by the score.
Hey, he laughed.
Like I said, it's just examples. Some we're going to do 2 ways. See which way you like better. Okay, we're going to find the class average. Class average. And this is what our class is made up of. We have 6 engineers in the class. Their average is an 87. So it's, although the engineers, all 6 scores have already been averaged, the 6 engineers have an average of 87. You understand that?
Got it.
There are 5 business majors in this class. Their average in this class is a 78.
Ouch.
There are 10 math majors in the class. Their average is a 93.
Good for them.
And there are 5 biology majors in the class. Their average is an 87. No, let's go 86. Can you find the class average?
Yes, we can.
Yep. Okay. I first don't want you to think of this as a weighted mean. I want you to think of this as just an average. An average. How do you average a set of numbers together? Divide by how many? How big is this class?
Well, let's add them all up.
There are 26 people in this class. So if you were going to average, you would be dividing by 26. What's the common mistake people make? Justin, if you would stop talking, I'd appreciate it. Okay, if you were, what people do is they look at this. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers here. I'm going to add them up and divide by 4. Because that's all you see. That's very, very common, because that's what you're taught to do. Add them up, divide by how many you have. Well, I see 4 numbers, but do I really only have 4 numbers?
No.
I actually have 6 of these, 5 of these, 10 of these, and 5 of these. I'd want to add up all 26 numbers and divide by 26. So method 1 would be just to know what you know about averaging. So we're going to call this method 1. What's a quick way to add up 6 87s? 6 times 87. A quick way to add up 5 78s would be 5 times 78. 10 93s. And then 5 86s. Divide by, how many numbers did I add up? 26 numbers. So go ahead and crank through that. See if you can do the calculator work there.
Same.
80 what?
87.4.
87.4. Sounds about right. I mean, if you look at these numbers.
Well, Well, assuming it came from Alexis, probably. Sorry, I take it back.
I never even asked questions.
Sorry, I take it back, I take it back, I take it back. 5-second rule, I took it back.
Okay, any problems getting 87.4? Okay. Method 2. Quiet, please. Method 2, you can use our weighted average thing because there's a weight of how many engineers, that's a weight of the class. How many business majors, that's a weight. Math majors as a weight. And bio majors, you can see we have a lot of math majors in this one. So, if I use my weighted mean, I need the weight times each score. Well, what weight do the engineers carry in this class? How do I get that?
6 divided by 26.
6 out of 26 is their weight, and their score was an 87. Plus, now I do the business majors. There's only 5 of them. What weight of the class? When we say weight, we're talking what percent of the class. How do I get that? 5 out of 26 times their score of 78. And then the 10, the math majors, 10 out of 26
This is a lot.
times by 93. And then the biology majors, 5 out of 26. And you can type this all in one line. Times by their score of 86. Try it. All one line, no parentheses needed.
Wow, impressive.
All one line, no parentheses needed because it will do the dividing first and the multiplying. Get that? It'll do this next chunk and add. It does the order of operations for us.
She said that.
I got the same.
Got the same? No problems getting the same thing?
No problemo.
The other way.
Which you can decide. Some person's going to wrap their brain around this way, then another person's going to wrap their brain around this way. It doesn't matter. They're both perfect.
Well, the second way is
Okay.
stupid.
The third way that you do not do, number 3, this is the wrong way.
So then
Why
why are we
would you
doing
say
it?
it?
Wrong. Because I want you to see it.
Make a frowny face.
87 plus 78 plus 93 plus 86 divided by 4. Totally wrong. You have way more than 4 people that you are averaging. Okay, the other kind of weighted mean I want to do is GPA in college, because it's way different than high school. In high school, all of your classes are weighted the same. You know, your athletic class weighs just as much as your calculus class.
Crazy.
Okay, when you go to college, that's not going to happen. If you take a gym class, it's probably going to be a 1 credit or a 2 credit. If you take calculus, that's 5 credits. What that means is, if it's a 5 credit class, you are sitting in there 5 hours a week. If it's a 1 credit class, you have that class 1 hour a week.
Whoa, really?
Really. A 2 credit class, you sit in there 2 hours a week. The only thing where it doesn't come into play is labs. If you have, say, a 4 credit biology class, it'll usually be 3 hours of lecture. Your lab will be either 2 hours or 3 hours for the 1 credit. So labs, you put more hours in per credit. Chemistry labs are typically 3 hours for 1 credit. Bios are 2 hours for 1 credit. But
Whoa.
everything's weighted by the number of credits you have. So we want to go over, because you're all going to experience this
What
very
are the
soon.
credits of most classes?
4s, 3s and 4s.
How do they weight online classes?
Depends on which class you're taking. Like your Rett and Comp was a 4 credit class.
What about like my
Research writing was a 2 credit class.
I got 6 credits.
Yeah, for tech, they transfer, it only transfers to 3 credit for the Rett and Comp, and
Oh.
the research writing is 2.
Okay.
So I'm actually getting less credits than I took.
Then you talk.
but-
Then that all depends on where you're going and how
What
they.
about like
How do
psychology?
we do this math that we're learning today?
How what?
Shut up.
Can we do
Sorry,
that?
sorry, that was really aggressive.
Can you do what?
Can we work on the math that we're doing today?
We're going to. Yes, right now.
Learn about life, but
You want to get on, move on. You're saying.
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
Playest way possible.
Okay. All right.
No, I know.
So let's see. Your first semester at college. Some of you, juniors probably, calculus
We drop out.
is a 5 credit class and you got an A. Psych is a 4-credit class, and you got a B+.
How do you get an A in calculus?
Rhett and Comp,
Sorry.
4-credit class,
Immediately regret.
you got a B. Bowling,
You can do that?
Mhm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, hell, that's what I'm doing.
2-credit class, you got an A-. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what's your GPA for the semester? That's our goal, your GPA. So what we need...
Freaking A in calculus, A-.
I don't know. So let's see what your GPA is. What's an A worth? How many points do we put to an A? 4.0. A B? Let's jump down here.
Now 3.8.
3.0.
Okay.
Wait, this is a B
Your,
plus.
no, I'm on the B. I'm doing the B. I'm going to go back to that. Your C would be a 2.0. Your D is a 1.0. Okay. So A minus. It's a third of a point down. 0.33333. So an A minus would be, what's 4 minus 0.3333?
3.6666. 3.6 repeat.
3.6 repeating. So we'll just carry out 3 of them. That'll be good enough.
Why can't you just leave it as 2?
That's a 6.
Because it's the demon number.
B plus, we'd subtract 0.33333 again, so we'll be at 3.333. Okay. So, all right, how many credits did you take?
15.
You took a 15 credit semester, because you added these up, 15 credits. So what you can think of this as, think of it as 15, like we just did the people. I got 5 A's because my calculus is weighted 5 credits. I got 2 A minuses in the bowling because it's a 2-credit class. I got 4 B's for my Rhett and Comp, and I got 4 B pluses for my psych. So we can do it the same way we just did with that class of engineers, biology majors, but I'm averaging 15 grades together, even though I only took 4 classes because of the weighting here. So if we want to do it with method 1, by getting an A in a 5-credit class, think of that as getting 5 A's. So how do I total up the points for that?
Times 5.
5 times 4. I don't need the .00, but I'll put it there. The B plus in the psych, and I got 4 of those, so it's a 4-credit class. So what's the quick way to...
3.33.
So 4 times 3.33.
Isn't it just 1/3? Like, wouldn't it be more accurate?
3 1/3, yeah, but it's, yeah. Then it's hard to type that in the calculator. This will be close. This will get us close enough. 4 times 3. And then 2 times 3.666. And we're going to divide by 15.
Ooh. I don't know. I feel like... Never mind, I didn't divide it by 15 yet.
Okay. You had an you had an awesome GPA there, or what?
In college, can you do that fancy above 4.0 thing? No, that's only high school.
That's only high school.
That's stupid.
Stupid.
3.51.
You got a 3.51?
Go you! You have a
Okay.
super B plus.
Method 2 is with the weights. Your calc class was 5 credits out of 15, and you'd multiply by the score of 4.0. Then your 4 credit out of 15 times by your 3.33. I'm doing both ways just because I don't know which way you're going to like.
Do we have to do both ways?
I would, for the note's sake, yes.
For the note's sake, yes, if you're listening.
And we know what the answer is going to come out. We know it's going to come out 3.51. What's the wrong way to do this?
Add just the four numbers up and divide by 4.
Add the 4 numbers up and divide by 4.
Can you help here?
What do you got?
Move it up.
Oh, the wrong way, we are going to write the wrong way down just so you emphasize what not to do. The wrong way would be to add those 4 numbers up. Because you had 4 classes, I'm going to add the 4 numbers and divide by 4. Because that's kind of what you were taught. But that's not the case here because of the weighting on the credits.
Oh, Stephen crying.
Yes.
Nice addition.
Or you messed up his eyes.
That's it for that one. Did that one. Okay, now the other kinds.
How many more examples do we have?
Several. Alright. The one thing we have not done is the mean of a frequency distribution, which is very similar to what we just got done doing here. Just set up slightly differently. Can I get rid of that?
I am ready.
Ready, ready? Onward. Where'd my first page go? Oh, up here. Okay. Okay. The mean of a frequency distribution will be an estimate of the actual mean. And you're going to see why in a minute.
I have no idea what we just wrote.
Okay, yeah, it's not going to. You need to remember what a frequency distribution is. I'm going to look at the, give you the heights and the frequencies for a, this is, I think it was a gym class, a girls' gym class. So their frequency distribution went like this. From 60 to 62 inches, there were 3 people in the class that were in that height range. Then from 63 to 65, there were 4 people. 66 to 68, 7 people. And then 69 to 71, there were 2 people.
What makes it decide on like how many inches they're going in between?
The number of classes, that's all in how much, if you were gathering this data, you could decide how much separation you wanted. There's no steadfast rule, no. Because we could easily have broken this up into 5 groups too. It doesn't matter. So that's up to you. Okay, so why is this, when we find this average height, why do you think this is going to be an estimate of the actual height, average height?
Because
they're not-
in between.
Well, they're not exact.
Well, they're not exact. I know there's 3 people in here from 60 to 62. Do I know what they are?
No.
No, they could all be 60 inches. So I don't know exactly the heights of these 3. I don't know the exact heights of anybody in here. That's why this is going to be an estimate of the actual height, because I no longer know the actual heights. I just got a range for them. So how many people are in this class?
16.
18.
16.
Try again.
7, 4, 16 people. That means I need to average 16 numbers. So let's think logically here. What height do you think I want to use for these first 3 people?
61.
Why are you picking 61?
Because it's the middle.
It's the middle. That would be your best estimate, is to put all 3 of them at the middle height. So you want a midpoint column. So we're going to assume, to estimate it, that all 3 people are 61 inches in the first group. Then I've got 4 people that are how tall? 64. 7 people that are 67 and 2 people that are 70. Okay, I want to do method 1, method 2, and the wrong method. I want to average these 16 heights. How do I do that? I need to add up all 16 heights, and then I'm going to divide by 16. I'm assuming I've got 3 people that are 61 inches tall. Yeah, you can come in. Yep. So what's the quick way to get that? 3 times 61, or 61 plus 61 plus 61. It's quicker to go 3 times 61. 4 times your 64.
Thank you.
Yep. 7 times your 67, and 2 times your 70. This will be an estimate because I don't know the actual 16 heights. I'm just assuming that they're all right in the middle. That's what's making it an estimate. I should make the squigglies because it is an estimate.
I got your back.
Thank you.
65.5.
65.5 sound right?
Yes.
Do I have this written down anywhere? I do. What's method 2 going to be? How do I do the weight for each height? How much weight do the short people carry at 61 inches? 3 out of 16 times by 61. Then 4 out of 16 times by the 64. 7 out of 16. And 2 out of 16. So it's the weight for each class times by its score or height. And that will also come out 65.5. What is the wrong way to do this so you get 0 points on the test?
I don't even know how to do the wrong way, so I'm not even right.
What's someone going to do if it says find the average height for this class? Add these 4, divide by 4.
Not writing down that way.
Oh, I forgot to write wrong by it.
Right way.
Wrong way. We have way more than 4 people in this class, so that does not make any sense to do that. And I've seen it happen many, many times. Okay. Last thing is something different. The shape of a frequency distribution.
We're gonna go on to the next page, aren't we?
I don't know. I'm not going to go off of this page on mine.
Just our last one?
The shape of a frequency distribution. When you make there are 4 shapes. Remember when we made like that, this height one here? And we put our midpoints and we put the bars going up and down? Yeah. Okay. If your bars kind of look like this, I'm just going to do a rough estimate here. You will get this shape when the mean, the median, and the mode are all approximately the same. They don't have to be identical, but they'll be really, really close to each other. What do you think this shape is called? Because if I kind of draw a smooth curve over it,
What is that?
Oh, it's
Parabola.
that one thing that I don't like.
Ebola is coming into my head, but I'm not.
it's a bell curve. You think a bell curve. But see how it has a line of symmetry to it? The 1/2 approximately matches. Doesn't have to be exact. It's an approximate thing. This is called a symmetrical distribution.
No.
Symmetrical.
You said they're approximately the same?
Approximately. It can be a little bit off. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're looking for a general shape. The next one Okay, that'll be good.
Are those supposed to be different sizes?
They're all approximately the same height. They don't have to be perfect is what I'm showing. But what I'm showing is there's not a big chunk in the middle and little tiny ones on the ends like we just had. They're all about the same. So it's like a rectangular shape. Approximately rectangular. You will get this when the, find my middle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When the mean and median are the same, approximately the same, but there is no mode. There's not one bar that's way more than the rest. No mode. This is called a uniform distribution. Uniform.
Do we have more or two more?
2 left. Okay.
Wait, what is the one called?
Uniform. Now this one.
What's that with the bar over it? That was not here with us, not so that is that-
Mean. That's a mean.
The X bar is
Yep. So now this one. This one we've got a whole bunch of data to the left, and then we got a big tail. It tails off and gets less and less and less out to the right. So this is not symmetrical. I don't have a left half matching a right half. So I got a whole bunch over here on the left and a little bit of data tails off to the right. So what happens here, your mode is here. Your median will come next to the right. And your mean will be even farther to the right. So it doesn't matter exactly where. The positioning, it's mode first, median in the middle, and then your mean will be to the right of that. So now they're spreading out. Mode, median to mean. Mode will come first, then your median, then your mean. This is called skewed right.
Is our next one?
Skewed, S-K-E-W-E-D, skewed right. Now to me, I would think, where's most of your data at? To the left? I would have called it skewed left, but I didn't write the book, so I didn't make the terminology, so it's skewed right.
So are we going to do a skewed left right now?
We are going to do a skewed left. So what's skewed left going to look like?
The opposite.
It's where the tail is at, so it's skewed right, so it's skewed to the tail.
So that's the name of that graph. Is
Skewed right. Or they call it positive, or positively skewed. Almost forgot the second name. Positively skewed. So then the last graph, it's going to be just flipped. You got your low frequencies here. You got your big ones down here, and it might taper off a little bit here. But it's going to start low and work its way up to that. That's close enough.
Mine looks exactly.
So we are starting with the tail piece, and all this bunch of data is down here on the right.
So I've got green echo.
And it's the position of the 3 measures of central tendency that we care about.
Echoes the bar X.
Yep. Mean first, median in the middle, mode is at the highest bar. Because that's the frequency. And this one's going to be called skewed left, because the tail is to the left. Yes, skewed left. Or negatively skewed.
I think actually positioning
Right down.
Yes, the positioning. They'll always be in that order. That's all I have, I think. That's... Okay. Yep, let's see what I have for an assignment here. Monday, page 62. 5 through 12. 28 to 32. Yep. 34. 36. 38.